In this reader stack video, where we're going to give you a stack that a reader takes and gets good results from, we're going to discuss a reader stack. A reader stack which has a base of tyrosine and also has some nasal Noopept spray and some caffeine in it. So, and one other ingredient. Coming up, we're going to explain it. And actually, I think it's a pretty good stack. So I have rambled entirely too far out of the spec. I'm just going to keep it going, just whatever. This was supposed to be over a long time ago. We were supposed to go into the intro, that music-y intro with livecortex.com and all the cool stuff in it, and I've just taken it way too late, so forget it. We're just going to sit here now. We're just going to sit here and we're just going to, I fucked it all up. Okay, minute and a half of Product Pro. At the end, we'll also talk about Product Pro because we are not only a nootropics information faucet, but we are also a nootropics product company, a good solid nootropics product company. We've got 5 products right now. Number 1, the Noopept Pro Stack List. That is a digital guide that gives you a lot of Noopept stacks. These are highly powerful, highly effective, sublingual, oral, nasal Noopept Pro Stacks. On our new series called Stacks for Guides, we talk about the guides, the utility of the guides, or the stacks rather, how you can use the stacks, what kind of brain states they get you in, etc. That's digital Noopept Pro Stack. Let's get it at livecortex.com. We've got another one called the Racetam Guide, which lays out 80 plus Racetam stacks. So, I mean, look, if you want stacks for verbal fluency, for mental energy, for motivation, for all those combined, even for creativity, we have the stacks specific to each brain state in that guide, Racetam Guide, get it at livecortex.com. If you're new to nootropics, we have a guide for you. You just stop everything you're doing. If you're new, get this guide. It's called Smarter, Better, Faster. It's a surgical guide to using nootropics the way that I think about using nootropics. Has a lot of stacks in there. And then we've got the Cortex stack. We built a stack. Very powerful frontal lobe mental energy, speed of processing. It's a productivity stack. It's called Cortex. Very powerful. Get it at livecortex.com. Lastly, we do stack consulting. It's essentially nootropics consulting. 40-minute call with me, 15 additional email correspondences. Video or audio call with me. Ask me whatever you want. We can help you formulate a stack, whatever you need. Get all that good stuff at livecortex.com. And thanks for listening to the Product Pro. Okay, so check it out. Somebody emailed me and said, hey, here's my stack, talk about it on air. Reader stack. We've been doing reader stacks over the course of many months now. Folks would just say, hey, look, this is my nootropic stack. Can you talk about it? Can you critique it on air? Email me at ryan@livecortex.com if you want us to do that with your stack. We've got a whole bunch of stacks in the pipeline that we're going to talk about moving forward. We just have a whole lot of content. I actually have 50 or 60 things on the content list of things I got to talk about. It's amazing. So we've got so much more. But so this was one of them, and somebody sent me a stack where they take 4 major ingredients. They're taking tyrosine, Noopept nasal spray, CDP choline, and caffeine in this stack. I first want to start off by saying I think that all things considered, I actually think this is a good solid balanced stack. The ingredients do synergize together, and this person has found something that works really, really exceptionally well for them, predictably. He's just been taking it for just about 6 months, and trying to cycle appropriately, but taking it relatively regularly, and the person gets good, solid results. He gets good energy from the tyrosine, I can imagine, good working memory from the Noopept, I would imagine, and then a good, solid functional motivation and overall sort of brain fluidity from this CDP choline. He's got CDP choline in the stack, and then he's got caffeine as just a sort of overarching, speed of processing, sort of wakefulness promoting agent in this stack, which also synergizes with tyrosine. So that's my point number 1. Great stack. All this stuff synergizes together. Caffeine and tyrosine is exceptionally and historically and notoriously good together, as is the case with, I think Serotropic makes a freaking caffeine NALT, which is the acetylated version of L-tyrosine, which basically means that it'll absorb into your brain quicker. I'm quite sure the studies point to that there isn't one more effective tyrosine than the other, and that your plasma tyrosine does not remain any significantly higher from taking NALT, which is N-acetyl L-tyrosine over L-tyrosine. Okay, so that's my sort of synopsis of the stack. Let's talk about the doses. The doses on there this is really why I like this stack, because the doses are super low, which is what I like. You get a whole bunch of really highly effective ingredients, and you low or medium dose them in the right way. You optimize your baseline super optimally, otherwise and elsewhere, and you're able to function really well as a result of that. Okay, so here's the stack. We're gonna start with the tyrosine. It's 200 milligrams L-tyrosine, 80 milligrams CDP choline, 1 spray nasal Noopept, and 200 milligrams caffeine. I have combined tyrosine and CDP choline and caffeine before, and I'm quite sure I probably combined tyrosine, CDP choline, caffeine, and nasal Noopept spray, but I'm not sure if I can remember exactly what it was like. I know we probably have, I know we have many tyrosine stacks in the Noopept Pro stack list. We've got some in there, and then we've also got some tyrosine stacks in the Racetam God Guide, but I'm not sure that I've actually ever combined the two, combine all these things in this regard, okay? But I would say that what I would imagine would happen is just like what this guy says. He's got a good solid speed of processing and wakefulness from the caffeine. He's got a good energy-like alertness, because that's what L-tyrosine does. Goes and builds epinephrine, norepinephrine. Those are alertness-based neurochemicals, and dopamine, so it gives you motivation. CDP choline works on dopamine receptors, increases acetylcholine concentrations, partially converts to uridine, right? So that's motivating in that regard via the dopaminergic effects on it, and it's focus-inducing via the cholinergic effects of it. And then, nasal Noopept is working on memory. Nasal Noopept is working on BDNF and NGF and probably acetylcholine at some level, and so you're facilitating memory. Very cool stack. You might want to give it a shot, and if you do, hey, try it in those doses first, because that's along the lines of like the Cortex Labs methodology on using nootropics. And if you don't get the best result from it, just try to tweak the result, the ingredients a little bit. But I think that a lot of folks are going to find a good solid utility out of that stack. Thank you, Mr. Reader, for sharing your stack. And if you want to share a stack with us, email me at ryan@livecortex.com. Thanks for watching.
What's up, everybody? Ryan Michael Bauer here. Hey, thanks a lot for listening to the video. Thanks a lot for being here. But check this out. If you want to take your nootropics game to a different level, to the pro level, we've got 4 major products for you. Number 1, the Noopept Pro Stack List. I think of all of these, it's the Noopept Pro Stack List and the Racetam God Guide, which we're going to get to in just a second, and we explained in the video, that are the most advanced guides out of our guides. The Noopept Pro Stack List is a digital guide that explains a bunch of powerful sublingual, oral, and nasal Noopept stacks. It also has 20 bonus Racetam stacks. The gist of it is, look, it took me a long time, 4 years of concentrated experience trying to find the best Noopept stacks, putting them in a digital guide. It's like folks try for a while to find a good Noopept stack. They're like, you're weighing stuff out, they're adding different ingredients in, they can't quite get it right. I figured them all out. I figured the God stacks of Noopept, and I put them in the Noopept Pro Stack List. Get that at livecortex.com. It's digital. Then the Smarter, Better, Faster guide, as you see right in front of you here, that is a guide for new folks. If you're new to nootropics, look, any of these guides will suit you, but if you're new to nootropics, this teaches you everything. Choline sources, Racetam, stacking Racetams, phenibut, research chemicals, modafinil, everything in between. Smarter, Better, Faster is a very powerful, information-dense, it's also a lot of stacks in there, digital guide you can download for anything you have. Then the Racetam God Guide. This is a little on the advanced level, but still, anyone could take it and get the stacks from it, and then can go implement those stacks, make those stacks, capsule the stuff, the ingredients that we've got laid out in the stacks, and then get a benefit from it. It's got 80 plus pro, highly advanced, super effective Racetam stacks. We got aniracetam, piracetam, oxiracetam, phenylpiracetam, nephiracetam, coliracetam, fasoracetam, all the major 8 nootropic Racetams in that guide. And then the Cortex stack. The Cortex stack is really like, look, if you're really looking to take your nootropics game to another level, I created that stack to give people an idea of what nootropics really should be. The pre-made stacks that were out there were not that effective. They just weren't. The companies and the folks that own those companies, I'm sure, are great. They just weren't that effective. So I created a stack that was like blowing my mind and allowing my brain to really function well during an 18-hour period building a business. I then converted that to a commercial stack. It is called Cortex. It is strong, okay? Get all that stuff at livecortex.com. That is what you got to do if you really want to take your nootropics game to the next level. Get these guides. Get all these guides. If you're new, get the Smarter, Better, Faster guide. If you want a Noopept stack list that's highly advanced and surgical, get the Noopept Pro stack list. If you want some Racetam stacks that are extremely effective, situationally specific, get the Racetam God Guide. And listen, thanks so much for being with me. Go to livecortex.com and get these products. And my friends, be epic and achieve more.